Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, ImperialDane, featuring today a 1 vs 1 on Langres with me. Yes, indeed, it shall be I, ImperialDane, facing off against the Allied hordes. Fighting for the Panzer, I shall be taking on those foul Americans under Iwillblowu, who is apparently a level 12 American, although some parts during this fight I didn't quite feel the same, and this is rather, to show some aspects of how you to defeat perhaps a certain strategy or doctrine used. So, should be fun nonetheless. And usually that's what we go for. Currently level 15 with the Wehrmacht. Yes, there's a bit of a disparity. I'm certainly closing in on level 16. We are seeing a bit of a movement towards the west here with me. Starting out with two pioneers, both focusing here, and also note wiring off this area so I can somewhat reasonably safe keep this munitions point. At the same time, we are seeing Iwillblowu engineers sort of spreading out to either side. Volkskrone scored out as the first unit. Why going down here to try and protect this again munitions point, Munitionspunkten. The engineers continuing up here towards their own, and the first rifleman squad arrives for the Americans who are fighting for the let's just say 2nd Armored Division. Volkskrone is moving up and securing not this point but this point they'll be moving up towards, probably wiring off a bit to ensure that an opponent can rush up here and take this cover and use it against them. We are in fact seeing the rifle moving up here. No, they're in fact sneaking up here. So he's not rushing straight for the throat of his opponent, he's instead taking a slightly more safe route, I suppose you'd call it. Schwimmwagen out as the second unit. I do like the Schwimmwagen. Provides a nice little MG, a nice bit of reconnaissance, and thus a nice bit of support for my Volksgrenadiers. Moving up here, trying to catch the riflemen. Would be better up here though. Into lighter cover, and there we go. Schwimmwagen arrives, and for some reason takes this route instead of this route, which confused me a bit, but perhaps it might have something to do with the road, as vehicles do travel faster than the road, I suppose, including the Schwimmwagen. Moving up there, up to the riflemen, opening up on them, in fact, and all of a sudden they do end up taking a lot more damage than previously. One man down, more riflemen are moving in, already down to 2 men, and again below half health, in fact. Although the Schwimmwagen itself is taking damage at the same time, though this is damage that can be fixed with some pioneers and a few repairs. Unlike the riflemen, who need to actually spend manpower in the case of the wounded, a triage sensors. There's definitely some minor advantages to using a Schwimmwagen, soak up the damage, and it's also why I use the Schwimmwagen and not the bike. It's a bit tougher and it can reverse, which rather makes it a bit more useful in the rule that I actually wanted in. A bit of engagement over here, pioneers pulling back, not quite ready, and the engineers are moving beyond the range, nicely handled by the American commander. Over here the riflemen are suffering heavily, down to 1 man, and I've only suffered 2 losses essentially. So that's definitely a plus for me. Additional Volkskrone arriving, these riflemen a bit wounded, Schwimmwagen almost fully repaired. At the same time we are some engineers moving up here on the flank. I am dealing a lot of damage, but at the same time I'm not securing a lot of territory. So in one way this is working out for me, in another way it's actually working out for him. Although we are seeing additional rifle squad moving up there, we are seeing an MG42 moving in to try and support the brave men of the Panzer. Rather than here being exposed to quite a lot of firepower, the Schwimmwagen moving in. Again, below half health, Schwimmwagen in fact pushes them out. And we are in fact seeing several American troops drop. And now 1 squad is left to try and contain the German advance. I've already sent several rifle squads running back home, and I've essentially only lost about 3 Volksgrenadiers. Again, and that's thanks to the magic of the Schwimmwagen, or at least, the good tactical mobility and assets it actually provides you if you know how to properly use it. So again, that's also one reason I like to also occasionally show my games, to show something perhaps not a lot of other players do. So blasting here at the riflemen, although I'm down another man now, so that's 4 Volksgrenadiers instead, but still, he is suffering a lot more. Schwimmwagen might be forced to pull out, except for that MG42 moving up. Schweres MG42 on the field. At the same time, we are seeing him pull off quite a nice little flank on me. Flamethrowers moving up from a rather far side. Rifle moving up from the other side though. Moving in the Schwimmwagen and the MG42 to try and sort of intercept. And there we go, rifle caught right in front of it. Pioneers moving in as well. Lots of death, lots of carnage. 1 squad almost completely down again. Several run off. Flamethrowers moving up in the rear though. MG42 Volkskrone is turning about again. Another rifle squad moving in, although a bit depleted. Heavy losses. My troops are quite drained. MG42 might want to get out of there. Oh dear, oh dear. It does look like he might set up before it gets cleared out. So there we go. I can recruit. Otherwise, that would actually have been a much larger loss than initially. So there we go. Quite a bit of bloody fighting. Still a bit of a Mexican standoff right here. The pioneers and engineers glaring at each other. Come on, you bastards, make a move. So I decided to just pull back. Hopefully make him move somewhere else while I do something down here. MG42 getting recruited. Don't want to be spending a squad, you know, that could otherwise be lost. So I used the rather fresh one to recruit the MG42 and retreated again, although moving up the MG, going for the cut-off points, thus hoping to, you know, gain something from the damage I've just inflicted on him, you know, huge manpower drain. Schwimmwagen repaired again. A few mines here could be nice. By the way, and there's also one going down here, in fact, to protect the victory point right there. Skirmish phase on survey. Rifle engineers moving up in the flank. Rifle pushing up in the center. Looks like the American commander setting up for a larger assault. And again, he's going to try and hit the flank, which is not quite well defended. Again, I'm, you know, rather forced to pull back all of my folks against my infantry. So in that sense, things are a bit grim. And there we go, pushing in. Hopefully he didn't spot the mine. Rifle is suffering a bit to the Schwimmwagen again. Troops here getting pinned down, but I will need to retreat. Schwimmwagen needs to get out of there. And these folks going to sling down a bit barbed wire to protect the flank there. Mine goes off, killing two. Schwimmwagen, oh dear, not sure what's going on there. I think that might have been a misclick from my side, in which sound the results in the Schwimmwagen going down with 6 kills to its name. Those definitely did alright. But again, not quite the situation I would have favoured, and that certainly could end up giving the Americans sort of some chance to regain lost ground. And already there, mining, good. Good, all in this case it does get spotted by some false grenadiers. Terror Doctrine has been chosen by me. First with Seal, I'll probably, yes indeed, go for Inspired Assault. I actually quite like using Inspired Assault, although I'm still sort of working with it a bit to sort of figure out where to use it the best. More false grenadiers in the MG42 moving up. Pioneers, everything else is ready. False grenadiers charging in against those riflemen. MG42 moving up. Could perhaps head out a bit closer to the front, Helmut. Suffering a bit here, still doing damage to the rifleman. And over here holding up. Not a lot of mines though, again, he's tried a bit, but you know, perhaps should have set them a bit farther behind so I couldn't quite interrupt it right away with a swift counterattack. Salvaging the Schwimmwagen remains. Moving up here on the flank. We'll try and outflank the position right, of course, behind the heavy cover. And there we go, Inspired Assault goes off, increasing the damage and the rate of fire of my troops, all increasing how much damage they do. And there we go. In this case though, I don't actually achieve much, which is a bit unfortunate, considering, you know, the 50 munitions and the fact my troops are a bit more likely to get killed. So that was a bit of a damn shame, but there you go, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But advancing up, going to keep up the pressure on my American opponent. Points being secured on the flank. Point here needs to be reconnected. Pack moving up, bunker going up to secure the wounded and minimize casualties and all other sorts of fun business. While the Panzerlehr fights onwards. And this pack needs to be cloaked. Come on, Dane. Don't be silly. Also, an MP40 could be a nice thing to upgrade some of my troops with. Though I do seem to be forgetting about that. Folks going to see a bit exposed, need to pull back. And again, another rather large American assault. My troops are a bit spread out to actually stop that. Not enough chance of mines. Flank rushed off. Other flank also rushed off. Engineers here stopped, but again, that doesn't stop all of the other forces moving up on all the other sides. This is not looking good. Folks going to retreated. And no, they look like to make me out of there. Medic bunker is up, but it's a bit too late, and of course the pack is now in a bit of trouble. Well, I was a bit too slow in moving it back. Had a bit of trouble with something slowing my computer down a bit, but that's not much of an excuse. And there we go. Panzerabwehrkanone. Crew dead. Quickly counterattacking. I don't want him to actually try and recruit it and taking it away from me. Not sure what those pioneers are doing there. MG42, they're trying to move up. Volkskriegs reinforcing. Grenadiers joining in the fun. I've been pulling back. Going for the cut-off point. Not a lot of mines. Flank also being secured. Charging in there. One Volkskriegs squad getting a bit too bold. Dane, what are you doing? Vorsicht. And he's not. And now I'll make another bit of a move there. Bad move. In fact, losing my Volkskriegs squad due to inspired assault again. I was figuring to rather charge in on the suppressed ones and do a lot of damage. Again, increased rate of fire, increased damage. There we go. Rather than here suffering a bit as well. Engineers moving in, and they're also retreating. And sadly, there's no medics about because they were killed. That's also less fascinating. Another rifle squad though left behind enemy lines. Volkskriegs moving in from all sides, putting on the pressure. Half-track could also be nice for another grenadier squad on another pack. Minesweepers because, well, I've not seen any armored cars or any upgrades to the riflemen, so at this stage I'm actually figuring I should probably expect some sort of armor from him. I mean, usually, again, you can sort of determine these things, and again, yes, he's in fact going for the tank depot, but again, I mean, if you don't see BARs, grenades, or hear an armor car or anything like that, with, well, snipers or MGs or mortars or anything like that, again, within a certain amount of time, he is going for the tank depot, in particular, because, again, he actually held both fuel points here for some time. Again, that also tends to be a sort of another clue to what your opponent could be doing, in this case, tanks. So that is a very vital thing to, you know, try and keep in mind during a match. I probably could be a bit more aggressive pushing on here with my grenadiers, but again, I'm for some reason worried about mines, and again, also worried about, you know, him charging in again. So that's actually a bit of a mistake for me, though. Not good. Not good. You have to be a bit careful with that. Don't go imagining your opponent has too much for his, you know, a super genius, and of course, you'll know, make mistakes. Pushing up here on the flank, some pioneers on their own. Quickly run off. Could also wire this area off for some sandbags. Again, lots of things I could have been doing, but didn't do. Which is, again, my fault, but there we go. Second Panzerabwehrkanone. Troops moving up here. Nice rifleman force. Again, several of them are veterans 1. Probably, again, due to my slightly reckless use of inspired assault, which, again, is a bit my own fault. But again, for some reason, I just like using it. Sometimes, I mean, if you use it properly, you can really do a lot of damage to your opponent, and that really makes up for it. Grenade, though, against the rifleman. Stielgranate, flying through the air and killing 2. Rifleman continuing to move, an MG42 setting up. 1 grenadier down, rifleman dead, and we are seeing... no half-tracks. Volkskriegs grenadiers holding off against the rifleman here, though. Probably could try and pull back a bit more behind the cover. These rifles are definitely benefiting from live cover, whilst my grenadiers are not quite. But there we go, Schützenpanzerwagen moving in, the mittlere version. Riflemen are getting run off.
The Germans are taking one of our points.
Grenadier down. Others are going to need reinforcement. Actually cutting the wire here, but not moving in towards this. Going up for the fuel point there. And there we go, the first Sherman has arrived for Iwillblowu. It's the American 2nd Armored Division finally getting some armor. And again, pretty early on, that's one of the things the Americans actually can do. Which again, not necessarily a lot of Americans actually, again, think about at least the novice levels, they can actually pretty quickly get some tanks. But half-track ready. Packs recruit. Pack moving up. Volkskriegs coming a bit under here as the M4 Sherman rolls in. Engineers getting suppressed. Volkskriegs grenadier down. To the high explosive shells. Further engagement here versus some riflemen. Not looking good. Medics moving in for the wounded. And the packs are hammering away at the Sherman. The Panzerabwehrkanone 38. Blasting away. For the fatherland. Come on, Dane, you lazy hound. Vorwärts. But 5 command points, and again, considering, again, he's going for a lot of armor, it would not be unusual to assume he's probably going for the armored doctrine. And again, you are seeing a lot more Americans after the latest patch actually going for armor. Probably something to do with the packs actually receiving quite the nerf in terms of how they function. So that's certainly something to remember. And there we go. Allied war machine. False grenadiers moving in. Very low health riflemen. ImperialDane, there we go. Popping the inspired assault, already 2 down. And again, the rest just make it out there. Damn it. Sometimes again. Oh, there we go, another down, but not quite the effect I had hoped for. And of course, now comes the question. I mean, I know he has armor, but I also know he's probably not going to be charging right into my anti-tank guns. He knows where they are. Well, it's sort of roughly, because I'm pretty much assuming he's not completely daft. So of course, I sort of have to figure out the sort of most probable best placement of my packs. You know, will he be attacking through here or here? And I need a sort of way to actually ensure my packs can cover each other. That's sort of a more of an in-depth defense. I mean, in this case, it's actually sort of a bit shallow in-depth defense, but still, there's some depth to it, which means he can't just rush in and knock out both at the same time. That's the important bit. And there we go. I'm actually moving up the grenadiers here to do some reconnaissance because I want to know where are his Shermans. And then, of course, just as I do that, the Shermans move in. But there we go. Pack moving up. He's probably going to be popping Allied War Machine. Other pack turns about. Of course, now I know what's going on. This pack could probably do a bit more of turning. One Sherman taking heavy damage. Other Sherman, though, moving in front of the second pack, so that was never mind. And there we go, main gun destroyed. Rifleman engineers charging in. Poor MG positioning by me, I'm afraid. Should have placed some barbed wire, something else. He just charged into it. And yes, the Americans can actually charge right into an MG42 if they want to. But so that's a bit tragic. Although in this case, again, cover actually helps a bit against suppression. And again, not good positioning by me, so I apologize. Trying to get the Sherman. Doing a lot of damage, but I'm going to lose that pack, and sadly also the half-track without it doing much besides reinforcing some troops. Enemy unit. And a Pioneer squad down, so that was actually a pretty heavy blow there to the Panzerlehr. Sturmarmy is up, Sturmgeschütz is on the way, I can tell you. Medics moving in for the wounded. He's interested in not making moves for sort of recruiting the packs. Sherman getting out of there, not wanting to get blown up. Rather than coming under fire. Forces and, well, Panzergunners was some sort of the Panzerlehr regrouping for a counter-attack. The Panzerlehr being an elite division. I've been coming under heavy fire. Packs, though, are not really functional, although might be recruited soon. And, of course, Allied War Machine essentially means that the one he lost is quickly replaced. And, again, that's rather what can cause for a lot of Wehrmacht players a lot of trouble, because, again, oh dear, he's just going to be charging in and essentially, you know, not essentially lose anything, while of course costing a lot of resources, which of course is vital, although in this case one was still damaged. But there we go, Stug moving in, and well, the major casualties was only really the MG. I can still recruit the pack, and he might not in fact be expecting that. And that rhymed. Volkskriegs reinforcing, more rifle moving in here. He loves harassing, he also loves going for the victory points. And he's probably going to try and hit up the flank right here. But again, now I do have a Stug. I do have both packs again, ready to stop any Sherman shenanigans. Though the Sherman needs to be pointing in the right direction. What direction? Shermans roll in. Not a third one on the way. That could also work. But there we go. Taking heavy fire. Panzer attacks as well. Lots of anti-tank fire. I know, of course, what to expect. And again, though, keeping the packs a bit apart, but still in a position where they can reasonably well cover each other. That's important. In particular when you're dealing with something like a person who just charges in armor, which is sort of Allied doctrine, I suppose. Volkskriegs getting pushed back. Grenadiers reinforcing. Salvaging these Sherman for munitions, that is good. Second assault gun ready. A bit of efficiency would also be nice. Going for the high munitions. Cheeky bastard. But a second grenadier squad has in fact been reformed out of the casualties of all the Volksgrenadiers and, well, some grenadiers. Counterattack going on in the west. And we are seeing additional armor up. Again, he's really preparing for another armored punch. Hoping to inflict more losses to me than I can inflict on him. He's basically going for a battle of armored attrition, which is certainly not necessarily a bad idea when you have Allied War Machine. But again, you do have to be a bit careful. Bit 22 for the riflemen. Riflemen charging in through here as well. Not a lot to stop them as such. Grenade goes off, killing one rifleman. Perhaps being a bit silly. Hopefully she'll sort herself out. And there we go, the third Sherman arrives. Back to the action, one hopes. Let us returns as a great Imperial Dane. Come on, Frap. Sadly, something that happens from time to time, I fear. And there's not an awful lot I can do about it. Volksgrenadiers is going down. And apparently nothing the medics can do about it, so they don't even bother. Assault guns still blasting away. High explosive shells flying through the air and absolutely missing their targets. Grenadiers waiting. A counterattack could be initiated. And no, the Americans are preparing for another assault. Iwillblowu is apparently hoping to just blow me away with Shermans. At the same time, the Nebelwerfer is ready. An armored car is ready to sort of help try and keep the flanks clear from infantry. Do a bit of harassment. I was going towards the King Tigers, and again, I'm figuring he's going armor. I'm going to need something a bit bigger than that. You know, like assault guns without having to expend going towards the battle command, since I don't really think I have the resources to certainly pull that off at the moment. And there we go, the howling of the Nebelwerfer from the Panzerlehr Nebelwerfer Battalion. And there we go, Riflemen getting absolutely blown to bits, and Shermans charging in, and there we go. Actually, now with the packs behind the assault guns and Panzerschreck. And let's see what happens. There we go. With packs, with Panzerschrecks behind the assault guns, actually have a much more stout anti-tank defense. One Stroop though goes down. Simply too many Shermans, but at the same time actually reaping a rather high toll from him. And there we go, one Sherman down. In fact, another Sherman down, and ultimately he actually loses on this one. Yes, he regains 2 Shermans. He does fire off a Calliope barrage, but he still lost 1 Sherman overall. I've only lost a Stug. Stugs are cheaper, although I prefer not losing one overall. Regain the Grenadier Squad, plus there are wrecks to salvage, which means more munitions for me. So I mean, that's a slight part of the equation to try and remember. Rifleman over here getting caught by the armored car. Auto cannon trying to catch those filthy riflemen. So it's Yankees, while the Grenadier Squad takes our position right here versus these 3 riflemen. And also note, there's a reason I placed the bunker right here behind the Bocage, because again, in case of Calliope or the on-map artillery, the Bocage will actually absorb some of the artillery fire. So that's a nice thing to try and remember. But again, what rather happened here was that I had a layered defense. I mean, it wasn't just all strung out on one thing. I mean, I had something behind the front line, you know, the Stugs, the infantry, to actually absorb most of the damage, which of course gave the packs more time to fire. I mean, that's sort of, you know, the essence of a good defense, not one where you can just charge in. And it's certainly something that can rather take out some of the steam of the Allied war machine. Well, of course, now there's a Calliope. I'm trying to get the Stug away from there, although the fresh one is pulling up. I'm also going to need a Kampfkraft Center, and that's actually been a bit of a mistake. I've been too slow in getting a Kampfkraft Center again. I need the veterancy for my assault guns, so they become a bit tougher and a lot harder to knock out. So again, that's a bit vital to remember. Pioneers here coming a bit under fire, which is less good. Volksgrenadiers pulling back a bit as well. Nice large push up here on the flank, although there's an armored car to try and do something, although so far it's having a lot of trouble actually hitting anything. Non-engagement over here, and another Calliope barrage to sort of clear the way for the Shermans. And we are seeing some Pioneers. And my apologies, not sure what's going on here with the computer today. Just something that sometimes happens. There we go, Propaganda War, a nice little ability in this case, forcing away the rest, allowing me to focus, and of course, buying me more time on this flank, and of course, causing a bit of an annoyance. Still, the packs are there, doing a bit of damage, slowing down the armored assaults. Interestingly enough, he's not tried to neither upgun them, or in fact give them smoke cover to actually help them get out of there without getting blown up. Again, he doesn't seem so keen on, you know, actually having most of them survive, just, you know, killing. But again, even then, upgunning the Shermans would definitely benefit against the assault guns. Packs moving up, Stugs moving up. Kampfkraft Center finally going up as well. Bit of damage there. A nice German assault by the Panzerlehr, although cleared with only the assault gun battalion. And some infantry, no panzers as of yet. And the Sherman could in fact be going down. Oh! Helmut, you missed! And now of course he's charging in with Allied War Machine, and now he's also charging in with the infantry. Probably with sticky bombs at this stage, because again, what some players like to do in particular, more the intermediate, not quite novice but not quite expert either, is, you know, just blow up and charge in with sticky bombs like some wild horde. This is only going to be a long episode to record. Stuka needs to pull up. There we go, the veterans who won up. That's going to help a bit. Another Sherman moves in. Of course, another one is ready. Pack trying to pull away. And another bit there, but there we go, sticky bombs. Damaged engine, not a lot to support it. Rifleman suffering a bit there. Another Sherman moving up against the Grenadiers on the flank. Koenigsegg almost done. And another Stuka might be going. There we go, those Sherman bombing again. He's lost a Sherman, which again is to my advantage. Although again, I lost another assault gun. But again, if we really have to be sort of rough about the economics of it, I'm still ahead, because again, a Sherman is more expensive than a Sturmgeschütz. But again, it's not the sort of thing you genuinely want to be doing, you know, trading off units like that. Armored car doing a bit of work here, trying to perhaps, you know, join the Sherman to fire on it by packs. Another assault gun on the way. I love my Sturmgeschütz. Let that not be denied. The Panzerlehr, they also had the sort of slightly look like the Jagdpanzer IV. The early variant, not the one with the Panther gun, but the one with the more regular gun. They actually had a battalion of those as well, which was actually a bit rare. In fact, not a lot of divisions back then had it. There were the Panzerlehr and a few others, and some didn't even get it. That Jagdpanzer IV. Still, Sherman gets away, although with heavy damage. So again, nice to know. Another... No, he's actually getting tank destroyers now, perhaps having realised he perhaps needs to mix up his forces a bit. Although again, upgunning the Shermans could also just do the trick. But again, economically, again, tank destroyers do get a lot more bang for the buck against armour than the Sherman, and they also cost a lot less expensive. So in terms of that, he's probably realising he needs something else. Koenigsegg almost done. Americans pushing up here in the west. German Grenadiers moving up in the east as well. No light machine guns for them though. Slightly more worried about all the armor, so I'm sticking to Panzerschrecks, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Mine goes off though and immediately kills 2 Grenadiers. Going for that victory point. Victory points in fact a bit equal, but not quite fully. Medic bunker a lot more exposed now to conniving fire. In particular now that all of the cars blockading it is gone. Trying to deal with his rifleman down there. Veteran D2, and there we go. Koenigsegg arrives. The Panzerlehr had one in its Funk line battalion, which was essentially a company of Tiger tanks, and one King Tiger actually sort of meant for radio controlling. Those Stuks were also used. Again, a slightly fun little thing. We are seeing the Stuk moving in, and the Koenigsegg. And again, I do apologize for all these little interruptions and any little bits that get lost due to it, as I sort of, you know, try and ensure things run as smoothly as possible as your end, on your end. Right now, charging ahead, but the King Tiger has arrived with its high speed. And again, there we go. The nice hit from the King Tiger. 3 riflemen dead on the spot. Then he's getting a caught bit out in the open, and I quickly run off. But now I can turn my attention to the front. Armored car, assault guns, all the fun bits. Could probably be an idea to actually try and repair that medic bunker, rather than pulling up behind the wreckage of their own tanks and the German assault gun. King Tiger moves in. Armored car joins in. Stuk moves up on the flank. Another Calliope barrage to try and bog things down a bit. But at the same time, he blows up his own cover, which is less good. Armored car doesn't really achieve much though, so it might have been a bit of a waste. And Rifleman dodge one very nasty shot there. Lining up a bit of armor for Mr. Iwillblowu. Königsjäger moving up. Armored car. Stug rifle going down there. And there we go. A charge moving in. Grenadiers. Packs moving up. Rifleman squad down. Small victory right there. Stug getting outmaneuvered. Should not have moved it ahead too far. That's definitely a mistake by me. One down though, but there we go. Inspired assault up. Why do I go for that? Let's just briefly pause because again, it increases the rate of fire and the damage. But what does that also mean? Well, in case I have someone with a Panzerschreck, it means his Panzerschreck's going to fire a lot more often and going to do a lot more damage. So there, already one damage, and already note he's firing again. And again, almost took out half the health on the tank destroyer, I believe. In fact, there we go, another armored kill. So I mean, rather vital little bit there. Again, not something necessarily a lot of people do, but again, it actually gives a rather significant damage boost besides, you know, increasing the rate of fire. So while again I've lost, well, pretty much both Stugs and an armored car, he lost 2 Shermans and 2 tank destroyers. I would say that's definitely to my advantage. And that's certainly also one of the slight benefits there of Inspired Assault. It can be used, if properly used, they'll be used as sort of thing to, you know, stop an armor. Though generally only out in the open if he's only got tank destroyers. If he's also got Shermans, it might end up a lot less well for your Grenadiers. Just saying.
Americans are seizing territory.
Again, moving up here on the flank though, some losses, but overall, I think I got away much better than he did. I've still got 2 Grenadier squads and a Volksgrenadier squad in Iwillblowu as well, and might be getting more stuff, although again, the King Tiger does continue to drain my manpower resources. I've been coming under rather severe assault as Grenadiers move in. Very close actually being able to calling in a V1 rocket as well. I've been moving in, not quite as fond as that. Calliope thus managed to escape. I've been run off. Still holding most of the victory points, still draining me away. I mean, he's quite aggressive and certainly doing quite well in that. And certainly also rather knows somewhat how to use our war machine. Iwillblowu fire doing quite nicely against the rifleman as the Iwillblowu howls a dirge at them. Pull back, Königsjäger. Wir müssen die Amerikaner zerstören. Nicht dir. Whatever. So Grenadiers pulling up. And back, and again, you know, it's just something that happens. It's something with, you know, recording down to the hard drive. Just please, whatever you do, don't tell me, you know, to get this or that. It's not going to help. It's something to do with the hard drive and all recording on it. Which so far has not really been fixed by any program as far as I'm aware. More Calliope fire against the Grenadiers. Stopping the securing of that point. More armor getting rolled out. Lots of tank destroyers. Still got my Königsjäger. 1 pack at least. Pioneers and Stugs on the way. Small engineer force moving up on the flank. My strategy of sort of trying to, you know, dominate the central field, and of course again that sort of, you know, slightly more layered defense has rather paid off. Because of course Stugs. And again the medic bunker to sort of help with attritional issues, whereas he's sort of trying to rely on Allied War Machine for that. It's not necessarily working out for him too well. Grenadiers, propaganda war stopping parts of the infantry assault. Although they're going to deal with the remaining rifleman squad. Well, in this case, seemed like the riflemen win out. Rifleman squad could be going down. Or not. Engineers continue to push up in the west. He quite likes his harassment, of course. He quite likes, you know, being when I'm not, which is definitely not a bad idea again, because he's trying to, you know, force me to spread out. Well, in this case, that's rather where you, as the Wehrmacht, sort of had to realize, okay, what do I actually want to defend? And again, I rather figure I want to defend this. And then I'm sticking to, of course, I'll send minor forces towards the west, but I'm not going to be draining it too much over there either. Looks like these engineers might be going down soon. Medic bunker not quite in good condition, going for the cutoff point. 3rd tank destroyer ready. He's definitely just moving over to tank destroyers completely now. Again, continuing to salvage everything I can for munitions. it's actually time to have a look at Iwillblowu again. My apologies, just all the staggering about. And again, don't say I need to do this or that. Again, it's sort of a hardware thing, which I don't think I can fix. Though I do appreciate the thought and all that. And again, sometimes there's a lot of it, sometimes there's none of it. And here's moving up again, no Panzerx otherwise. And LMG of course also be of help. And the pioneers might want to consider repairing that bunker. While Mr. Iwillblowu is lining up, he's got 3 rifleman squads left, 2 engineers and 3 tank destroyers. And of course a veteran 2 Calliope holding out against the Krauts, while the Krauts are holding out against them. Second armor versus the Panzerlehr. Trying to lay down some sandbags, of course, to find a bit more of a defense, but getting stopped right there by the riflemen. We're moving in. King Tiger opening up, providing support. Riflemen down. Iwillblowu finding away. Stuke's moving up. Veterancy could be an idea, and there we go, blasting away, forcing away the Grenadiers, damaging the bunker, and even damaging some of his own troops, I think. There we go, 3 tank destroyers rolling in. No, 4. Also seeing troops moving up on the flank to try and sort of sticky bomb, I imagine. Stuke's there, though. Mine going off, damaging the engine of the assault gun. The pack still there. Tank destroyer down. Quite the armored battles. Another pack down. I mean, another tank destroyer down. Another pack. That pack is still there. And Stuke got the engineer, I believe. And there we go, 3 tank destroyers down, and this time around, no real losses for me. Again, you know, thinking out how your defenses actually should work in advance can actually do you quite a bit. Again, sort of figure out where he's going to attack, where could he be attacking from, and what can I do to sort of minimize the damage from where he's going to be attacking from. And again, things like, you know, placement of the packs, mines, barbed wire, tank traps, all of those can then be sort of things to, you know, prepare you for that. Again, that's sort of one of the slightly, you know, interesting secrets of defense. It's not just about having units and all things like that. It's also about how, you know, actually being able to counter the way your opponent attacks, not just what he attacks with. More sandbags going down again, trying to hold. Fulton's getting run off by another pair of tank destroyers. He loves those. You can also get a Pershing now. Just try and counter a bit the King Tiger, though, again, not necessarily going to be the way, because slightly, again, different class of heavy armor. More Calliope fire again going in towards here. And I fear that might be the end of the medic bunker. There we go, in fact. Tank destroyers moving in, trying to get those Grenadiers. Not the most suited for it. Another rifleman squad down and another engineer. In fact, the American second armor is certainly draining out all of a sudden now, much more heavily. Again, the attrition war is now much more in my favor. And it is his. And he does have 1 supplied upgrade, but again, a medic station early on could also have helped him. I wonder what damaged the barracks. Must have been a Calliope or something he fired too closely, because I don't think I ever got that far yet. Veteran 2 up for the assault guns, that's going to help a bit. More getting ready, more getting repaired. No, that's actually a firestorm, almost getting the entire rifleman squad. He's getting more, he's getting replacements, that's good. Some players do tend to forget to get rifleman replacements when they lose them, which is not necessarily something that works for them. Grenadiers behind the heavy cover of the sandbags. Stuke providing a bit of fire support with its machine guns and its main gun, doing a bit of damage to these riflemen. Another Calliope barrage sundering the ground, making things a bit unbearable for the Grenadiers. Although the sandbags do provide a bit of protection, they are still not in condition to actually fight. Sturmgeschütz rolling in, Grenadiers providing infantry support, that is good. Stuke needs to turn about. BAR's in fact now ready. The Browning automatic does nothing against the might of the Sturmgeschütz, which of course will be a Stuke 3 in company of use too. Hooray! Rifleman suffering a bit there. Stuke heavily damaged. More infantry could be moving up and might also be an idea to actually acquire some bunkers. Tank destroyers moving up here on the flank. He's probably trying to now attack from another flank, perhaps do some damage to my base. Close to getting the Pershing. BAR left behind, in fact. Volksgeist moving in. Stuke moving away. Then he needs to consider moving away as well. Wiksuk. In the meanwhile, the Americans make one push for the base. But already, of course, having noticed he's moving about over here, I quickly move in my own armored assets to try and counter that. Panzergrenadier also joining in for a bit of fun. Whatever shall I do? Volksgeist fighting here, being retreated though. B1 rocket ready, and there we go, another inspired assault. Main gun destroyed, does a lot. So perhaps that other Panzergrenadier did not get harmed half felt, my mistake, but still. Again, can do a lot. And again, two tank destroyers certainly not in a good condition. Rifle moving up here versus the Stuke there. Calliope barrage hitting the flank, bunkers going up, in fact. One already getting the repair upgrade. Sticky bomb on the Stuke. Does nothing to the engine since the engine is already damaged. I've been getting pushed off with heavy casualties as the men of the Panzerlehr fight. And the Panzerlehr definitely was one of the elite divisions. Had some of the best equipment. But it actually suffered quite a lot as it was trying to reach the battlefield. In fact, it lost a ton of half-tracks to Allied strafing runs. Which actually rather limited the fighting power right there. And the Calliope, neither the Pershing actually fought Normandy, they actually fought much later. They actually fought about the time of the Ardennes, so yeah, that's a bit off. Not a huge thing, I suppose. Grenadier down. Stuke's arriving though. King Tiger might also want to consider rolling in. Plus still got the Panzerabwehrkanone. Not really the strongest gun of this period though. Had rather been replaced by the Pak 40. And I suppose the Pak 50, which was a bit like the Pak 40 but had the same barrel length as the Pak 38, but sort of still had the same about penetration ability. Lots of Calliope fire, damaging the Stuke right there. Some people like to use the Calliope because it cannot just damage infantry, it can actually damage and knock out tanks reasonably well. So in fact, some people sort of use it like an anti-tank artillery weapon, which is not necessarily always the best thing to do with it. But rather having the advantage here, I charge in with assault gun and Königstiger. Also note, rather close to being able to call in a V1 rocket. Rather than moving in, but note quickly all these machine guns on the assault guns, in fact, pin them. And cut them down as well. More riflemen are charging in. Stuke's left to deal with that while the King Tiger then tries to maneuver in to knock out the Pershing. Riflemen again getting suppressed down the middle of the road. Others moving in, suffering. There we go, one squad pinned, thus out of the fight. Another one pinned. Now I need to just advance. Forwards, men now. There we go, retreat. And although we might see the Calliope fire off again, veterancy 3 in fact means cooldown periods have much gone down, and there we go, right on the Calliope, Stukes right on the flank, and note the damage. I mean, it's quite insane. And again, that's actually why some players, again, they actually go for the Calliope rather than the Pershing, but again, early on, it's not going to be so effective again without veterans of 3, so it's going to be a bit more, you know, might work, might not. B1 rocket, though, called in to assist the Panzerlehr, the mighty Panzergrenadiers and Panzers, in an effort to stop those Allied Schwein. And there we go, knocking out the engineers, or in fact, removing them from the face of the earth. And Stuke knocks out the Pershing. Calliope suffering a bit there. Nice, well played. Thanks from me. Although I do a bit wondering if this is some sort of smurf, as he has played rather aggressively. Again, there's only also been some mistakes. But this has actually been one of the longer fights I've actually had in some time, and I've had also had fights against high-ranked players who well lasted much shorter. I've been getting slaughtered right there. Yeah, not sure why, just went to the Y. But there you go, game over. The second armor was sent off by a rather determined effort by the Panzerlehr. Rather close at times, rather aggressive use of Allied war machine, but again the sort of defensive core with again spread out and a slightly layered defense is actually sort of, was able to at least, if not survive it, at least overcome it from time to time. Or other way around, not overcome it, survive it. Yeah, whatever. And again, some of you, of course, might be complaining why I didn't show another game, but again, sometimes I just don't have anything else to show, really, which I think is entertaining. That, of course, is a slight thing. Of course, there's also always going to be some complaining. Of course, others are just going to love this. Plus, of course, also figure the armor fights might be something. And, of course, seeing Allied War Machine going down might also be something for someone. Other bits that paid off was the medic bunker. Mining, I could have done that a bit better. And again, I should probably have been a bit faster for the veterans, also for the infantry. But, there you go. Otherwise, again, Doctrine. Terror was definitely nice. Although I suppose I could also have gone for Blitzkrieg. Possibly gone a bit more of it since in spite of sort of this fight. Didn't really do a lot for me. But there you go. But of course, right, let's not forget our good opponent. What could he have done better? I mean, he was a bit too, happy about just charging in with armor and then losing it. Essentially, yes, the mathematics of it could look alright, but in the end, it simply turned against him. Partly because, again, I was fighting with Stooks. He was not. And partly also because he never rather, sometimes, he failed to get in the infantry, which again didn't fully exploit the assault. And of course, as I then, of course, managed to lay it up a bit more, again, he just got less and less out of it. And again, he just didn't get enough out of it. He should perhaps consider upgrading the Shermans, perhaps to increase their combat abilities, which could in fact perhaps have won him it, but he didn't. So that's rather unfortunate for him. And again, some players do forget to actually upgun their Shermans, which again, they will need if they're actually expected to go up against armor. So there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends. If you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own. This is ImperialDane saying cheers, and don't forget to upgun those Shermans. Cheers!